Okay, we are ready for the last phase of all of this. Good night. Nights 12 through 14. We are in the end of the second week, and by now you are absolutely in the home stretch here. Now, it is time to get rid of the absolute last step of the gentle phase out method, and you guessed it, it's getting rid of your voice, okay? Baby can't feel you because you're not touching. Baby can't see you anymore because you're out of the room. Now, you're barely visible, and you're completely out of the room, like I said, but your baby can still hear you, and that's what we're ready to get rid of, the last and final phase here. Now, we want your baby to fall asleep and settle completely on his own at bedtime, to remain back asleep and transition back to sleep for sleep cycles on his own. Even if he protests, at this stage he can do it. And I want you to know, sometimes when I work with my families one-on-one, they get a little nervous here. They say, wait a minute, Batya, you said you're against cry it out. Isn't this cry it out? No. In my book, cry it out is going from a full-fledged attachment or dependency, like nursing in bed all night with a mom, or having bottles 100 times, to this, going straight to leaving them all on their own, going straight to doing it. It's confusing and they don't know what to do. But we have not jumped from A to Z. We've gone through B, C, D, E, F, G, and all the little letters in between to slowly acclimate your baby to doing this. And at this stage in the game, it's almost as if the more you help him, the less you help him, because he is so ready to get to this place and so ready to do this completely on his own, and you have to give him opportunity. Now, there's probably going to be minimal crying here, but there might be a little. And you don't want to start shushing and start singing, because it's just going to overstimulate him and it's just going to confuse him, because it's going to cause him to be dependent on you. So right now, after the initial bedtime routine, place him in his crib, and when you normally go to your sleep station out of the room, you just leave. No more verbal reassurance. No need to talk, no need to shush, no need to sing. You can go do the laundry, you can do whatever you want. Anytime in the middle of the night, other than a feeding time your baby wakes up, you don't go to him. And he might be upset or angry, but at this stage, you have spent 2 solid weeks slowly acclimating him to getting used to falling asleep with less and less of your help. He's ready for this, okay? Remember how many phases we went through to get here. So I want to tell you, though, don't feel like you have to move forward. If you're happy with how things are and you don't mind shushing your baby from outside of the room, fine, stay there. I'm just giving you all the tools necessary to move forward and have everything in your pocket when you're ready, okay? Now, right now, most of you are probably have moved tonight to nap training. In naps, week number 3 with Good Sleep Finish. If you haven't, now's the time. Hop on over there. You can start incorporating things that you want to do during the day as well, because now your baby's capable. Now he's ready. But if you really don't mind how the days are going, you don't mind helping your baby to sleep and the nights are smooth too, that's great. There's no right or wrong here. It's all about what works for you as the parent. Your sleep station is irrelevant. You have no sleep station. Right now, you don't need to remain anywhere. You're not constantly talking. You're not constantly shushing. He doesn't hear you. You don't have a sleep station involved here at this place in the game, because you don't need to be involved with your baby's sleep, because he can do it on his own. And if he can't do it yet, this is what's going to enable him to. Feedings in the night, same thing. If you are still feeding your baby, you know, he's probably going to still need that time. I will tell you, a lot of you might be wondering now, when can I know my baby's ready to drop that 1 feeding or that 2? Within the 6 to 12 bracket, most babies can only go a full 12 hours once they're having 3 solid daytime meals. Solid breakfast, solid lunch, solid dinner, with all the liquid feeds in between. Usually it's around 8 to 10 months that most babies are ready to go the full 11, 12 hours. If your baby's ready before then, great. If you're unsure, only move towards getting rid of that last feeding once you feel that your baby is eating tons of solids and your baby is ready. And how you do that is either by continuing to phase it out, but go to the sleep line when all is said and done, when you are ready, and I talk about in detail how to get rid of that last feeding, because it's a little bit different. You actually go backwards, but only do that when you feel your baby is eating 3 solid meals a day and you're confident can move forward with it. 5-second rule also doesn't apply, just like the stage before. You're not anywhere that you have to go back and come back in. You can just feed your baby at that 1 time, or those 2 times if you're still doing it, or not at all. But the 5-second rule does not apply. Spouse help rule does not apply. The only time it's going to apply is maybe at bedtime, right? You don't want one of you to go in and give a kiss, then the other one to come in and give him a kiss, and then switching off and on. Still, whoever does bedtime should be one parent doing bedtime. That doesn't mean every single night the dad has to do bedtime, or every single night the mom has to. It just means you don't want to be overstimulating your baby by the 2 of you doing it together or going in and out and doing things. But the spouse help rule doesn't apply as much, simply because you're not going to him and talking to him in the night. And the stand-up, sit-down rule also doesn't apply. You are done. You know all about sleep. You are in the home stretch of sleep, and your baby in a few more nights is going to sleep through the night.